This is the One Life Podcast, hosted by Todd Lawrence. In this episode,
who's your top 5 comics? Which borough in New York City has the prettiest women? Who you got, Tupac or Biggie? What's your strategy when you go up here? And the one just read it at home, and then when I come to the show, I don't look at nothing.
Stay focused on your set, man. Try to get the jokes in when you can, and then people will know that you came prepared, you were ready. It was just that guy or that person that just was like not trying to hit it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone, all the, it's aliens out there in the world too. Everybody out there watching, welcome back to the One Life Podcast, man. This is One Life Podcast, episode number 39 with your host, Todd Lawrence. And today we got some more great, special, self-driven talent in the building with us, man. This dude right here, I met this guy at a comedy show, performing, working my material at a comedy show. We bumped heads with each other. He came up to me, told me, he likes my style, likes my comedy. He wanted to work with me. And ever since that day, we've been locked in, man. This dude, he was born and raised in Harlem, New York City. You know what I'm saying? And he's migrated all around the world, different places. He's been to Texas, and now he's in Pennsylvania rocking with us, man. And here he is today on the One Life Podcast, episode number 39. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for my man RayTooFunny. Yeah.
Yo, my man, I appreciate it. That was
RayTooFunny.
That was a good intro, man. I appreciate that, man.
That's the One Life Podcast.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the One Life Podcast, episode number 39. Yeah. We've been trying to get this shit together for a minute now.
Shit, I didn't want to say it, but we put it together. It happens in God's timing, right?
Yeah. God's timing. You said it.
No, man. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get this right. Let's keep these going. What we got going. When it gets right, when we got everything put together, it will all come together perfectly.
At the right time.
At the right time, you know it.
Yeah, so let's get right into it, man. What brought the funny to Ray, man, and what brought Ray to the funny? You know what I'm saying? RayTooFunny.
Yo, that's the funny thing, because I remember when I first was doing it, and I was doing the open mics, just trying it out. I even go way back to then, but I'm going to start with the name. I was just going as Ray. Right. Like for a good minute. It was like, introducing Ray. And they was just like, but I remember my first show that I actually got on, it was like a charity fund. Mm-hmm. And it was like, they was like, yo, you got something else? Can you add on to it? You're like, what are you, Prince? You trying to just do just one names, So
right.
I wrote down a few names, you know what I'm saying? I tried to pick the best one. Then I remember like making jokes or telling people shit, and then they be like, you too funny, man. You too funny. Get them out of here, right? So I was like, all right, RayTooFunny. So I was like, you know what? That's the one. That's the wave. And it's been, I've been using it ever since, and I fucks with it. Yeah, that's my shit. That's my whole thing for that name. Wow,
Right. So yeah, growing up and stuff like that, like you grew up in the hood of Harlem, or like, is there any good in Harlem? I don't know. How does that work?
Of course, man. It's good everywhere. It's good in the hood, man.
Because I know in different boroughs, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's good in different places, it's bad in different places. But I'm saying like some places I feel like it's hard to get in a good section. What talk about it? Yeah, growing up in Harlem.
All right, so Harlem starts from 110 to 155th, right? So that's the whole thing. Crazy thing is Harlem. I feel like Harlem's like Sparta, like Spartans. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not from there. You ain't going. You don't belong there. But we bring the hardest people out there, man. You always got some type of flavor to them, even if they're not really in the streets. The survival mode of that is crazy. So yeah, I'm from Harlem. I was born on 135th Harlem Hospital.
Yeah,
my father was there. My grandfather was there. So it was always a little history behind that.
Right.
So I remember I used to live on 141st. Then I went to 135th. 149th. I lived on 153rd. I know these are just numbers to you.
Yeah. People, they know what you're talking about.
Nah, my peoples know. So yeah, this is it. So
shout out Harlem, man.
Shout out Harlem.
Dave East out there, yeah.
Jim
from the
Jones
mud
out there making work. Putting the work out there. Yeah. But so I wouldn't say it was necessarily the hood, but I grew up in situations where it was like, oh shit, I remember it was one song. It was like, yo, the boys is always on the block, and then we was listening to that, and then we drove turned one corner. It was like cops right there. I was like, oh shit, they talking about us, like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The element was there, but I ain't gonna lie, my mom was not about that, man. I was all, she did not have me out there past a certain time.
Yeah.
Once she realized that I can maneuver and make it home back in safe and shit, she was like, yo, you good? you can stay out a little late, but it takes time. So you got to get a couple fights. You got to get jumped and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to.
Yeah,
move
you had
around.
to get all that shit happen to you.
That's in Harlem, man. And there's a lot in Brooklyn and then in the Bronx and stuff like that. But in Harlem, man, when I was raised there, I was like, if I can make it out of here, I can make it anywhere. No one's really gonna be testing me. I'm not gonna be able to spot something crazy from a distance. Like, yo,
right?
I've been there. I seen it. Not really me personally, but I seen what's going on. I know how it's supposed to go. So. Yeah. That's really what that. So not the hood, adjacent, but I've been in these situations where I was like, yo, I got to keep my guard up. So
right.
More shit like that.
So speaking upon like, having to get jumped and fight and everything. So like growing up in high school and like middle school and stuff like that, were you funny? Like, were you able to like be funny and kind of get out of tough situations, or was it like you was a bully back then? Cause you were hefty type of nigga, no diddy pause. You know what I'm saying? Like you seem like, you was like, nigga, you not friends with me. I'm gonna slap the shit. You know what I mean? How was that? What was the young Ray like, man?
Funny you say that. All right, so I wasn't always this hefty. I'm just eating good now. Happy relationship. I'm in getting, we'll talk about. Should we talk?
Yeah. You just got engaged, right?
Yeah. So what I'm saying,
congratulations on that. Yeah,
appreciate that.
We're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna get into that.
But the birds is chirping. Yeah.
But for the most part, I was definitely a skinny kid. I was skinny. I was the only child. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to that, I was like, I feel like, as the only child, you can always say what's on, say what's on your mind. You don't got like kids or, people in the house to like, yo, don't say that, or you might want to say it this way.
Right.
So when I started growing, like in my, like you said, elementary, middle school, high school, I realized if I say it in a funny way, you could kind of get away with a lot of shit you shouldn't be saying.
Right.
So I felt like I fell into that once I really like started honing my sarcasmness or whatever.
Yeah,
sarcasm. Yeah. So I was like, cool, like I'll say it. And then I started saying shit under my breath in a sense. And I remember my real first couple of good jokes, I used to tell people like, yo, say this, man, this shit'll be funny. Then when I started seeing them getting the laughs, I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm about to be the one making the fucking jokes around here.
Right, I'm about to start telling them.
Yeah, like it was me. Like, it wasn't his man.
Being the middleman, yeah.
I remember one time they was like, my cousin, they would call him Dave Chappelle. And I'm like, yo, this nigga is not that funny. So I'm the one telling the jokes. What the fuck?
Did he look like Dave?
Nah, he was just funny because of the shit I was telling him. Then he started home and then, making his jokes too. Mm-hmm. But then I remember like in middle school, I went to a military joint. That's why I was like, when I seen you was like that, it was called RMLA, Renaissance Military Leadership Academy.
Oh, your parents put you in military school.
Well, it wasn't necessarily because of that, but it was like that was close in around the area. A lot of my friends were going there, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna be be prepared for this. So let's do it.
Yeah. So you went to military school.
So yeah, we dressed down to all guards, man. What
grade was this? This middle school?
7 and 8. Yeah, 7 and 8 to middle school.
Yep.
So they were obviously trying to home it and make sure these guys
in line.
That discipline was the number one key. So I feel like that's why I got that kind of like, yo, I'm gonna be there. You tell me something, I'm gonna get that discipline going.
Yeah.
So I definitely got that from them. I got a shot. If anything, I got from them, it was there.
Right. Shout out the military.
Shout out,
all the soldiers, man.
Yes, sir, for sure. Vets and everyone. So
for sure. Being
there, that kind of honed me where I did start doing like push-ups and you got to do the physical, the PT and everything like that. So when I was there though, that's when they used to call, I used to like, I'm like, yo, I want to be on the to be the top of this guy. So I used to do my push-ups every night. And that's when they was like, yo, this guy, man, he must be steroids and shit. I was like, nah, son, this is just hard work. This is just doing push-ups, dedication, motivation. That's why we here, right?
Yeah.
Let's do, what we came here to do. Mm-hmm. So then when I went to high school now, this is in the Bronx. So I was in Harlem from, let's say, elementary to middle school. Then I went to the Bronx for 4 years. I did the 9th to 12th. And that's when I really was like, yo, I want to be, because the Bronx and Harlem, they were so close. Like everything is kind of like, we all know each other, but it's like, it's a different world. So they kind of could tell like, yo, you're not from around here, but you're still funny.
Just because the dressing and stuff, or
definitely dressing, but more so
the lingo?
Like the lingo, and then just the way you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans out there, of course, black people, white people's out there, but in that area I was in, it was really like Latino up.
Right.
So in a good way, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, and then not knowing about that, I used to go, moments to go to the Bronx, go shopping and shit like that, but I was never really out there where I was gonna spend my, my time out there.
Yeah.
But now you could drop me in the Bronx and I'm good because I know the spots. I work my way around. So, but not just more so. So I was always the funny guy, more so making people laugh. And when they started noticing that, it was like, yo, he's mad cool. And then I started being cool with the funny. So that's always a good plus. I can still say real shit. Like, yo, he gonna make, come over here. He gonna say some funny shit. Like,
right.
Put him in the right situation. So that was my main growing up. It wasn't no tough shit. But at the same time, though, like back in elementary or middle school, I was definitely like, yo, Cause
standing on business.
I was standing, you know what I'm saying, doing the fucking PTs and all that shit. You build yourself up, hitting niggas one good time, and they're like,
confidence,
you know,
Let's get back to it tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a fight like that in high school.
Yeah,
like, I was fighting this dude, man, and I didn't even want to fight, bro. And we got into the fight. You know what I'm saying? I came through, and you know, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Something about when you take your shirt off, pause, no diddy. You take your shirt off, it's like now you got full range and motion of everything. That's true. I took my shirt off, but I left my tank top on. This nigga took everything off, pause, no diddy, you know what I'm saying? And I fucking whooped his ass, right? He was bleeding and everything. Bro, after the fight, he gonna talk about pause, timeout. Let's resume tomorrow. That's why I say when you hit him real good, man. Yeah, I learned that. But I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to resume this anger tomorrow. Right. I want to be done today. I don't even want to be angry, man. That's true. I'm just defending protecting my fucking manhood. Yeah. I put in work that day. That's right. That's my man. Yeah, hell yeah. But they talk about tomorrow and shit. Nah, I'm not with that tomorrow. Resuming tomorrow. Yeah, we need to settle this out. Let's shake hands after this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, piece it out. Right. Yeah, we don't gotta hang out, but like, come on, we men here. Yeah. That was back then. Yeah, so how you now? Now niggas are shooting. Oh, yeah. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? These YNs, man. Yeah. That's why I'm telling jokes. We telling jokes. You telling jokes, man. We bringing comedy, man. Bringing joy, everybody, you know. In fact, before we go, I wanted to say, y'all see this right here? You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm peaceful, man. I told him I got it from my man, you know, the jeweler T. Oh, not me. Not T. Not this T. I ain't selling that shit. Timu, all right? It's back to Timu. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling I had to tell him. I had to let him know because I don't want them looking. I don't know who you got in the fucking fake
looking.
You make it.
Yo, fake it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be there when I get there. I ain't wearing no Timo shit though. To each his own. That's for now. And then when we get up, you know what I'm saying? I got it from Joe. Joe know who he is. He the one that put me on.
But don't tell people your sauce.
Nah. I want them to know. I don't want to get robbed on some bullshit trying to fuck around.
Let them take it. You know what I'm saying? Let them get a new one.
That's true. You know,
perception is reality.
It was a deal set. So
I don't shop on Temu unless I got to get like you know, some what do they call it? The magnet, fridge magnets.
Oh shit, yeah.
I get shit like that on Temu.
That's true. That's
bedroom slippers and shit.
They got some good shit on there. Don't sleep on them, right? And then the materials is
some signs and shit.
Yeah. You know.
But yeah. Back to high school and shit like that, like making people laugh and shit.
Yes.
So, were you ever bullied and stuff?
All right. So, you know, we all get those moments where it's like kind of a misunderstanding, or at least trying to test you out, trying to see how it really works. You're like, yo, is this one I'm gonna be? Give me your lunch, give me your shit. So it was more so like I was, but I never had that situation because you know it's.
I never had that situation. I was in the suburbs.
Oh yeah,
no cap.
We in the birds. Yeah.
Niggas going to the principal office.
Yes, like this ASAP, right? Yeah. Dean's office,
and then you going to court and shit. Yeah. All that dumb shit, but go ahead.
Nah, but I get that because it's like once they test you and they see like, you know, he gonna swing back or he gonna try to, you know, defend his shit. That's how mine was more. And I had my guys with me too, so I was always shout out to them.
Oh, you was with the gang?
I had my peoples, man. It wasn't like
gang. Yeah.
So it was more so like it was that too, but it was like. We wasn't the popular guy, but we wasn't at the bottom. We was like our own little set. Like, you're like, all right, cool. You know, that's them and them. Ray and them over there. Like, you know, they gonna do what they do at the end. We're not gonna really fuck with them. We got other people who we could try. But we had our own spot where we was just like, yo, you fuck one of us, we all gonna go in there. So that's how
did they make you see the guidance counselor in school and shit?
I feel like
I had to do that shit. And maybe that's just a suburban thing. Nah. In the hood, do they have guidance counselors? Like, they would be seeing the whole school in the hood if that was the truth.
The guidance counselor was more so like guiding you away from if you had.
But I'm saying, did you get hooked up with a guidance counselor? I had a guidance counselor in school.
Okay,
like where like some periods, like she just come and take me from the whole period, and I'd be so happy. Like
that. Nah, I seen the kids like that. Not me personally, but I seen them. Yeah, mainly like it was when high school.
Yeah,
going to college.
And when you get in their office, they like tell me the truth. Anything you say in here, I cannot talk about it or tell nobody. I knew that was a lie.
They're trying to turn you into a snitch, huh?
Yeah, that's how I was just like, listen, man, I like the way, not man, listen, ma'am.
Ma'am,
it smells very good in here.
There you go.
Because they be having them like pumpkin spice candles lit when you come in there. And that shit in the wall be dispersing.
Yeah, set the mood right. Okay.
Yeah, they try to get you to tell shit that's going on. I did not let them know anything.
That's you tell them again. Make sure they know.
Yeah, today is just rough. You know what I'm saying? Just keep me in here for 2 more periods.
Yeah. Day's almost over and shit, right?
Real talk.
We're gonna get out of here.
So were you playing sports and stuff in high school?
Yes. So I did. All right. So like in New York, it's not really. Well, the part I was in, it wasn't really like field wise. So I remember the first thing I really got into was flag football. I know that's out here is a little frowned upon. Flag football.
And you was small though. You
said.
Yeah.
I was definitely like a tight end type shit. Yeah. So we was moving around like that. We actually won the champion. I don't want to throw that out there, but you look at that. You look at the tape.
What school?
RMLA, Renaissance Military Leadership Academy. That was in middle school.
Oh, that's official. RNA military match. I can't even keep it. That shit was official.
Nah, yeah. And then when I went to high school, it was called ASC, Academy for Scholars and Entrepreneurs. So I was really trying to get my letters up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make sure those made sense.
Yeah, good grades.
Yeah, you had to have something in there. You had to make sure you was good. And that's what I wanted to do, be an entrepreneur. Do my own business.
As a child, you had that thought process.
Yes,
beautiful.
Yes. I was instilled into that. Like you always want to have your own. Pay the bills and everything like that, but you always want to have your own to grow that up. So, you know what I'm saying?
We're going
to get into these, right?
Yeah, RayTooFunny. He's in the building today, episode 39.
So, yeah, that was mainly my main thing was like, just trying to grow in that aspect, just trying to be, the best person I could be more so.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But so did you play sports? You said just flag football.
Just the flag football. Okay, and then elementary, I did track. So I got a few trophies in the house with that.
What you doing? Shot put?
I just did those 100 meters straight ahead. I did the little.
You was quick.
Yo, I was quick, man. I was definitely.
You think you still quick or no?
Hell no.
I'm about to say because we could race. Yeah,
I don't know.
I ran track. Listen, back in school, I did all the sports: track, basketball, football.
That's all football. Yeah,
motherfucking wrestling.
Really? That's that suburbs, huh? That's
everything.
That's not bad.
I almost was about to do lacrosse.
Really?
But then I moved out here, and they don't got lacrosse out here. You got to be in a club team in Pennsylvania to play lacrosse. But when I was in New Jersey, all that shit, man. Okay. Yeah, bro.
Suburbs in Jersey, then.
Yeah. Okay. I was born in East Orange General, so I was born in the hood.
Okay.
But then my mom's moved me and my little sister out to the suburbs around like first grade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a nice little journey experience. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm out here with y'all niggas.
Yeah, I'm out here with these niggas
with my real niggas.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I met a lot of my real niggas out here in Pennsylvania, man.
Nah, for sure.
Great people. You know what I mean?
Too. And I only been out here since August. You know what I'm saying? Last year. So we, when it's come out, we in April. But that's when it was good. That's when it was happening. You know what I'm saying?
So talk about it, right? So what was one of your craziest experiences growing up in the hood?
Oh shit, man! I ain't gonna say no names, but but nah, just more so just seeing people getting like jumped in front of you, son. Just like having a situation where it's like, and that's your man. Yo, one time my man's he got definitely they pressed him, chilling, they talking and shit. I don't know what's going on. Next thing I know, they just start fighting, boom, 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 and I'm like, oh shit, we should go over there and help. And he was like, nah, not this one, bro, not this one. He deserved it, you know what I'm saying? He got to fight it out. You got to kind of just watch it and see that shit. It's like, yo, and then when he's finished, like, he wasn't even mad. He was just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I did my work. Dust it off and go ahead. That's back in the day. Now, everything's different.
Spinning the block and
shit. Yeah.
That was some crazy, just the fights and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, what happened to, it felt like Friday. You win some, you lose some, but it's like, yo, you got to be careful out here. But at the same time, that was some crazy shit. Just like seeing that, and that was more elementary. Right. Things happen more out the life, but it was like that one, I'll never forget that. I'm just like, yo, this is really how it goes. And, Harlem is different. Harlem is survival, but it's definitely beauty out there. But it's like, yo, you got to be ready. You got to be on your toes.
You've been to all the boroughs, right?
Yes. Not
Which
too much.
Which borough has the prettiest women?
Trying to get me jammed up. Yeah,
no, it's just the honesty. You know what I'm saying? I know you're engaged and stuff. But you're just keeping it real. You're not that you try to shoot at them. But
nah, yeah. So funny because I
be honest. One Life podcast.
Yeah, one life.
Which borough in New York City has the prettiest women?
In my perspective, right? RayTooFunny. I'm only talking for myself. I remember. I'll say this first. I remember that song called "Nothing Like a Brooklyn Girl." You ever heard that? No, okay. So I remember hearing that, and I was like, all right, let me check that out. So I would say because I was in Harlem, I'm gonna stick with Harlem. Harlem got the best females out there, man. And
Spanish
Harlem as well. Definitely Spanish Harlem, man. And my lady, she's from Harlem, so she's from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
she's from Harlem, but I'm about to say like she's around the Spanish Harlem, but we both was raised in Harlem, so I'm gonna stick with Harlem. That's me. Right there.
Yeah. Who get the flyers?
Harlem, of course. You know,
I heard that.
Yeah. Jim Jones will tell you,
I heard
you got a few exceptions, like my man Fab. He's up there, you know what I'm saying? But nah, you got to go to Harlem. You see ASAP.
And who got the best music? Do you know that far into it?
Yeah, I do, and I want to go with Brooklyn, but then I want to say Harlem because we have our own type of style.
Shout out Dave East, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
I know you told me that before. I was like, all right, cool. So you already know the
now they calling me handsome. Kidnap that nigga and go for the ransom. Yeah.
Yes.
From the dirt.
Nah, then that's what I'm saying. It's like it's your preference though. It's your preference. And I'm around that. And when they rap in Harlem, I'm like, I listen to it. But in Brooklyn, they get a little bit more. Like when you think of New York, you got to think of 42nd Street or Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? When you think of New York, so I'm like, I understand why the music could go a little further than it will be in Harlem. But when I'm there, I'm listening. I'm like, yo, what's new up there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me hear that, and I love it. Like, I always listen to Harlem music though.
Who you got, Tupac or Biggie?
Oh shit! Can we drink for some of these shits?
Yeah, hell yeah. We could take a toast.
Right, I feel like it's on some drink chance. Hold on. If I don't like it, I'll just drink.
Tupac or Biggie?
Now I'm gonna go Biggie again. New York, man, of course.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Tupac.
Okay.
Because I like Biggie Smalls a lot.
Yeah.
And back in the day when I was growing up, it used to be Biggie. But now that I got older, I like that California vibe.
Yeah. You been to California?
Huh? No, I never been yet. Yeah. I want to go. That's the next step.
Nah, I've been there once or twice.
But I like that Cali vibe and it's like the swag and shit like that. It was more like smooth and not. It was still a little the gangster come out, but it's like you more cooling and shit like that. Nipsey Hussle and shit like that.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Real quick though, you know Tupac was born in Harlem though.
Oh, for real?
Look that up. Google that. Make sure y'all know that. I mean, it's not really too big on there, but that's where he's from. So that
Tupac was born in Harlem.
Born in Harlem,
then he went to Cali.
Nah, he went to what was it? Baltimore first, and then I'm saying I saw the movie. I ain't gonna lie, I saw the movie. But at the same time, when I saw that, I was like, I could see. I'm telling you, when you born there, son, it's just something like you get. Like
stay with you.
It stay with you. You can move anywhere you want. But Harlem, and when you born there, you make it out that. Make it out the hospital. So for him, he was in jail when he did that. So. Right. That shit always sticks with you, bro.
Now, before we get out of the hood topic, what did you do to like separate yourself, like growing up? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot going on when you growing up in like the poverty in the hood areas and stuff like that, gangs and just getting involved in like that quick money and everything like that. Did you have to experience any of that, like, or was it like easy for you to kind of migrate and have your own crews of people?
Like you said, man, first off, I got to shout out my mom, man. Good parents, man.
Amen. Shout out the parents. Shout out moms, dudes.
No, not with that, man.
All the great mothers. Mother Day is coming up. Yep. I got a show coming up May 10th, Mother's Day weekend, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Yeah, shout out all the great parents, man.
Yes. So that's the first thing. She was not about that, bro. If anything I would try to do, schoolwork had to get done. Things got to be, and then when you have to do that, it leaves you out of these certain things because I can't go outside. I got to do my homework tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, but overall though, I seen some drug deals at school. You know, in the hallway and shit, passing on like that. But the thing, and people know me too, especially in the middle school. I did something with like selling candy. Yeah. So and I'm not talking about school candy. Like I would go to the 99-cent store. They would come with a bag. It'd come in a bag full of 10. I would break those down to like two little Milky Ways. Sell those for 2 for 50 cents, 2 for a quarter. Yeah. So I'm selling that out, putting that in my pocket. I was hustling that way, and I knew that was like, yo, if I can make this little bit of money, and then on the weekends I'm going to the movies, I'm doing things I want, but I had the money on my side, and people knew me as the Candy Man, so they see me.
The Candy Man, shout out RayTooFunny, the Candy Man.
Nah, I'm dead ass. So I took that element of the hustle, but I was like, yo, I'm gonna do it for the candy. I'm gonna do it for this, and then I remember schools were like, yo, they throwing rappers all over the place. Tell your people to put it here, so I had to get them little bags to put the candy in there for the rappers. So
real shit.
I went to that route more so than like. I see that there's a need there, and I'm like, yo, let me fill it up with the candy. You know, I don't really got to go to the drug way, but I could do it my way. So that's how I got out of that with doing it that way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I tried to sell oregano at one time.
You try to get him?
Yeah, bro. You know, sorry to the person I did that to.
Damn.
I only did it to one person. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I put the lotion with the oregano, and I put some baby powder. Yeah, that nigga probably licked that shit and the whole joint probably disappeared.
Yo, fucking in flames, boy. I remember we trying like.
I only did it one time because it didn't work.
All right.
I was like, if this works, maybe I'll do it. You know what I mean? I got something.
Tell them something.
Yeah, I tried it because I wasn't giving away my shit, man.
They know you for it. They know you got it, but they don't know what you got.
Yeah.
Like, you ever had smoke tea bags in the
Hell no. I ain't never do none of that.
I felt like if he was drinking it, so I could smoke it. No?
I tried to give the stupid shit away. But yeah, you know, sorry about that. We all go through things in life. One life, man. You grow up,
man.
You know what I mean?
One life podcast, you know it, man.
Yeah. So when did you hop on stage? When did you figure out? Because I know us both being comedians and artists. You know, when I was younger, I used to watch it and stuff like that. So when did it come about for you that you was like, yo, I want to get on the stage and do with what I see Dave do, or I see what Martin do, or I see what Eddie do. You know what I'm saying? When did that vision start?
So, like you said, though, it was definitely started with the Dave. Definitely started with the watching Comedy Def Jam. You know, you're not supposed to watch. So I always had that, like, I want to make people laugh. Like, that's something like, and obviously get paid for it. That's great. But just like, I want to be the guy like, yo, I'm always funny in my day to day. So I know I could do this on stage. So the first time this happened is because, like you said, so we moved through Harlem. Then I moved to Far Rockaway, Queens. And from there, I talked to my guy about living in Corpus Christi, Texas. So in Corpus Christi, Texas, that's where I started my comedy career out there.
This after high school?
This after high school, a little bit after college, did 1 year.
Oh, you did 1 year in college?
Yeah, 1 year in college. Shout out, what's that? King's
College?
King's College, yeah. No, King's College is out here. I think it's just King's Community College. I think it's called Kingsburg. All right, is it Kingsburg? They know. They'll check me on that.
Kingsburg sounds right. That's in New Jersey. Kingsburg, where the ocean's at. I used to go to Kingsburg.
It's not Kingsburg. It was the one next to Coney Island. Put it like that. They know that. They'll put in the W's in the chat. They know what I'm talking about.
So before you jump past that, what made you, like, you did 1 year and what happened?
Well, with that, okay, we can get into that. So I felt like I was into, we was getting into the music, me and my guy. So I got, something out there. We did, some music and put some tracks out like that. Yo, we always go through the music phase, right? It's music, basketball, you know what I'm saying? So I thought we was going to be the biggest rappers out there.
What was your rap name?
It was Ray Gun.
Yeah, Ray Gun.
Not like a Ray Gun, because he was going to be like Ray.
Yeah.
No, it's like a Ray Gun, but at first it was like Ray Guns. And we was like, nah, we can't, how we going to market that, like keep it clean. So it's like Ray Gun, at least it's a little bit more friendlier. I had one song I got on the track. We're going to put that up on YouTube. I'll find that for y'all. That shit was hilarious.
It was some serious shit.
Nah, it was definitely play along.
Oh, funny.
It had to be funny. You know what I'm saying? That's just my style of kind of anything I do is going to be a little humor in there, until I get to these roles where we,
Right, we
I'm
on
like,
the way.
Yeah. But, so not to skip that. So that's why I dropped out mainly because it was like, yo, I want to be with my guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of me doing the Kanye dropout. Like, yo, this is going to work. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But then I started doing my own way. And then it was like, all right, we might come back to this, but we wasn't really collective like we wanted to be. Well, I felt like it. So, So after that, I was working some odd jobs. And then my boy, he lived in Texas. And he was like, yo, if you come out here, you could work with me. I run the building.
So you left college?
Yeah, I left college and I moved to Texas. That's when I was out there with him. But I didn't leave like right away. I didn't move right away. It was like maybe a year or two after. And then he was just like, yo, I know New York prices is going up. So let's do it like this. I own a townhouse. You can live on the bottom. He lived on the top. If you cut any of the grass, I'll put you on. I'll give you money like that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to help out work, you can at least don't got to pay rent. Your rent could be in the payment. And then all I got to do is find another job. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So when he was out there, I felt like it was a fresh way. Like, all right, cool. Nobody knows me out here. I can make my own name. I always thought about doing a comedy in New York, but I just felt like people was going to be like,
crowded,
but more like laughing because it's me. Right. If I'm in Texas, y'all don't know me from nothing. So if you laugh, I know it's real. Like you don't have to laugh because you're my peoples. So it was one time I was working at AutoZone. It was a comic. His name is because he had passed away. He went by Pumpkin. Yeah, rest in peace, man. He went by Pumpkin. It was John Bates. You know what I'm saying? He was a real good guy, elder gentleman. I told him I was thinking about it. Then he told me, look, bring your ass to the comedy on Thursday night. We're doing open mic. I want to see it. I said, oh shit. All right, cool. So I was like, that was my first sign, man. I had to go.
How old were you?
28.
Okay. When you first went,
a little late.
When somebody told you, yo, come to the comedy spot.
Yeah, come to the open mic. We're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
So now what's on your mind?
Well, I've been trying to write some stuff down and I'm like, yo, I've been wanting to do it. And I looked it up and everything. I just never went to it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go. But my boy, cause he kind of like, yo, you ain't got, I'll go with you. So if he was like, yo, I can't make it tonight, I was like, we'll make it when you make it. So he was like kind of my, like, yo, don't worry about it. We'll all go together. So I was like, cool. But he was like, yo, you available this day? He's like, yeah. So let's do it. We went there. Actually, this was, I think they did it on Monday or Tuesday. It was called the House of Rock. So I went to the House of Rock, Tuesdays, I believe. And, you know, there's a mixed mic, so it's music and comedy. And we was talking about that. You know how when it's like that, it's kind of, they come there for the music,
right?
And they'll talk in the background, so you really don't know how you're going to do. So I did average, you know, as best as you can do.
First time?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Well, what was your mindset going for your first time?
A little nervous, of course, a little nervous, like, but I knew I was funny, so I'm just like, just go up there, man. The best thing, you know, the best or the worst thing is they're not gonna.
And you tried to remember what you wrote?
Yeah, I remembered it. I remembered it. I didn't have no papers, no nothing like that. I went up there and I was
you had like 5-10 minutes?
5 minutes, of course. You know that. You know the 5. Well, they probably gave me 10, but I was like, I'm only on. I know you got to read the room. I'm like, when I know I'm bombing, out of there. You know, but I never really bombed. I got the laughs too, and I was like, yo, this is good. Then I went to the Thursday mic that was called Mesquite Street, and that's the one with straight comedy, straight on you. And then there was another comic named Ben Creed. He was the one that was like, yo, I want to see your ass on here on Thursday.
No, did
and I want to keep you coming back. Yeah, pause. I want to see you coming back to that. And I want to make sure, you know, you're saying like, it's not going to all work or you're not going to get it all in the first week. You know what I'm saying? I'll say comedy.
You breaking the ice.
Yeah, you got, after 3 to 6 months, you kind of know where you stand. You know what I'm saying? You can't just drop out. And then I also say, even if a good night, don't think that's every night going to be like that. Every day is different. Every crowd is different. Read the room. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, my mindset was just like, yo, get up there. Do your 5 minutes, whatever happened, we'll watch the tape over, we'll see what I could do better, you know, because that's why I had to work on the mic control, I had to work on where I stand, how to, you know, separate myself from the other joke to a new joke, transitioning. So it was good, though. I felt good coming off that shit. I was like, yo, this is the one. This is what I always wanted to do, and I'm going to do it.
After the second time or after the second week?
A good month. But those first 2 days was like,
and remembering your shit, like, because, like, I know for me, you know what I'm saying, like, when I'm writing this shit, I'll write. I'll go over my stuff, and then it's like kind of tedious for me as an artist to like really like, I don't want to psych myself out too much by trying to just, because when I first started, I tried to just go ahead and remember what I wrote
off script,
and then go up there and then like verbatim just boom, boom, boom. But it's like concentrating on that mode, it keeps you stiff. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So how did you, because I asked a lot of people, like, what do you do? Some people told me they was like, this one Indian dude, Vishnu or something like that. Shout out to India dude if you watching this, you know what I'm saying? One time I was at the world famous Scotty. Shout out to world famous Scotty's. That's where I started. It was a spot in East Stroudsburg. I always ask people, I'm like, yo, what do you do to remember your material? Like, what's your strategy when you go up here? And the one dude was like, yeah, I just read it at home, and then when I come to the show, I don't look at nothing.
Okay.
You read it at home, come to the show, and then you just go and do your thing.
Okay.
What's your opinion? Like, how do you,
So I see where he's coming from. And then I did 2 different methods. So for that, I realized I got to say it like I'm doing a story. So it doesn't feel, because like you said, if you write it out too much, it'll sound written. And it'll sound a little bit too structured. And you don't want to always leave a little space for when people interact with you. You got to make sure you count for the laughs. Because you don't count for those laughs, you'll talk through the next joke and they still laughing. So you got to dictate the pacing. Pacing is always right. Always go with the timing. Now, this is a little trick I tell people. This is definitely one of those, you know, tricks you could use, especially up and coming comics. I will save my whole set. I'll record myself and put it on my ear, so I'm listening to it like it's music. So now I'm getting the words because now I'm saying it. Now I'm hearing it all through the day. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I like that. And that's how I write my jokes. I also put them in bullet points.
Yes, I do the bullet points.
Bullet points really help because I already know the joke. So I'm like, once I hear the beginning of the title or something that reminds me of it, boom, okay, cool, I got it.
Yeah.
So that's how those are my 2 main things that I would do.
Right.
But then I would get, because you know, you don't want to get too comfortable with like being what they would say an open mic comic. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you get too little relaxed daisical. You know what I'm saying? You're getting into the paperwork, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to get it to a high level, you gotta just remember that shit, man. You gotta, it's your words, it's your things. It's what you
right.
About.
And I feel like also it's like the confidence that you bring once you grab that mic.
Yes. I feel like after that first joke hits, or that you to get that 1 big 2 laughs, you in there. You know what I'm saying? The nerves or, you know, the excitement of it, or, you know, just getting prepared for it is done. Now you can just do your set. 'Cause that's the first, when I first started, they said, yo, you get 3, 5, 10 seconds to make someone laugh. If you got them in there, it's going to be a good night. If you don't, you're going to be working. Unless you're a storyteller, because, you know, it takes a little while to get to the point. But you could get them in those couple of seconds, man. Your confidence is up. You moving, you grooving. Everyone's having a good time. And then I could just go ahead. And then sometimes, you know, you can go off script. You can say shit that's happening in the moment.
Right.
Crowd work and all
Crowd
that.
work.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's your top 5 comics?
Oh shit! I was gonna do the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Who's your Mount Rushmore comedians?
It's been going around. So
and basically, with this being said, it's like who basically inspires you the most, and who do you go to and watch when it's like that time to lock in? Like, you know what? I got a big show this week. Let me just go ahead and watch, how they groove out and how they move out. You know what I'm saying? Pause, no Diddy. Because I do that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When it's time, when I got a performance during that week, I might go and throw on some Mike Epps. You know what I'm saying? Throw on some freaking Tony Roberts, Deion Cole, Marlon Wayans. You know what I'm saying? Because those are my comedians that I like. D-Ray Davis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the first person we all know, he's our Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor is one of them OG, of course. So I'll start with Richard Pryor, then it's Dave Chappelle, man. I like before you even knew.
And saying Richard Pryor, were you really watching him?
So no, I wasn't. I won't say it like that, but I'll say it like this. Because I feel like
everybody just gives him his flowers because he is the GOAT. He is.
So
just like Eddie,
and he's another one as well. But I seen the body of work he put out, the special. So when I actually went back, you can look at it now to this day, and that shit still is funny as hell. Yeah. So that's why I put him up there, because his shit is timeless, man. You could just laugh at that shit and just be on like, yo, this is good work. Like, he was a real comic. He loved the craft.
The emotion, the enthusiasm,
everything he's talking about it. Yeah, and then it's like people walking around. He's talking to them and shit, interacting with them. That shit is great. Yep. I know Eddie Murphy with the red suit on and everything.
Delirious
and raw, man. I'm telling you, like when he had the purple and black one, and then he went with the red. Yeah. Those two will forever be, immortalized in that aspect. So I just feel like I gotta put that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like those two really set the tone for everybody, Then it would be Dave Chappelle, so that's third. And then it's Bernie Mac, man. Bernie Mac on the Kings of Comedy, or just him on a TV show.
Bernie Mac,
like
the Bernie Mac show.
It's like those are the people that I can watch anytime I'm feeling any kind of way, sad, good, happy, trying to move on. I watch that shit, I'm in a good mode, and it makes me easy to write. Like, I'm not writing what they saying, but I'm just like, yo, I want to be that funny. I want to make it look so effortlessly. Like, it's like, yo, you got to do it. Like, they did it too. So,
right, yeah,
my guys, man.
Yeah, so when it comes to writing and stuff, like, how do you start? Like, how do you get in your zone? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you actually write on a notebook, or do you go on your iPhone and stuff? Because I do the iPhone.
I got a book in there. I remember a comic gave me a little book, and because I thought I could be the Jay-Z of it, just try to just like, yo, I go on the booth, I go on the stage, I could just knock it out. Which I feel like
you was doing that a couple times?
Yeah, open mics, in the beginning, those 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I rocked out before, yeah.
And it's not bad, but it's like you kind of don't want to, you want to have a structure, especially when you're going on these other showcases, because it's good when you just trying jokes out, but when you getting paid and you're being on these showcases, you kind of want to guide yourself and then you want to know what time, you get the time, you got other comics want to get on. So I do the book right now, like I keep the the bullet points, like I was saying,
right.
And I do the phone, but that's just like if I do that just in case I forget the book somewhere. So I'm like, I always got it on me, I can look at it real quick. But
it's in the clouds.
It's in the clouds, man. That shit ain't going nowhere, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is before the clouds, you getting old and shit, right?
Yeah.
But that's how I normally do it. I get the book and I just jot it down, man. I feel like that's like my joke books, you know what I'm saying? So
right, yeah.
That's how I get it going.
And so you said, since you started this, how many years have you been on the stage with stand-up comedy so far?
Okay, so I did 2.5 in Texas, Corpus Christi. And then I also...
And you started in Texas. That's what we were saying earlier.
It was like 2018.
Yeah.
Then I got to 2020. I did the last thing I remember, like being in that mode, in that zone. I went to Vegas and it was a competition and I won that shit, man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. That was like when I... Yeah, so when I won that, I was on one, man.
The One Life Podcast.
Yes, sir, of course. And then when I did that, I came back to Corpus, and that was like my home base. Like, that's when I go there, I try new jokes, I try new things out. But when I'm out and about, I stick to my bread and butter. I make sure I leave them with a good, like, yo, these are the hits. Like, you gonna laugh at these shit. So when I did that, I was like the last couple of months, because I think COVID really started like February, March, when it was like shutting down and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So I went back to New York, out of Texas, just to check on my mom, make sure she was good, because I was like, yo, New York was on fire at that moment.
Right.
Then I tried to go back. I did a little bit of the scene in New York. Two things. It was one, I got this job and it kept all my time, so I really couldn't fucking...
In the city?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. New York is good for the hustle, man. Good for the money. Money's up. You're gonna work. You're gonna get your money back. But it's like for your own side job, your own side hustle, your own business you want to grow. It's tough. So it was that. And then when I actually was trying to get something together, I would tell people to come out, but then I was afraid. And actually, someone got sick off the COVID shit. So I'm like, damn, how do I feel telling people to come out and we not all the way clear and now they getting sick? So I felt some kind of way. So I took a good old hiatus, man. I ain't come back till now.
Right.
So now that I'm back into it.
So how long you took off? Like 2 years or something?
Yeah.
And I did the same thing, no cap.
Yeah.
Because I was working on my comedy, like, you know, just posting little skits, videos, Instagram, Snapchat before I went to the Navy. Then when I went to the Navy, I did a couple, you know, some time in the Navy. Okay. Came home. And then I started boxing for 4 years.
Oh, shit.
Wasn't doing no comedy.
Okay.
Then once at the end of my 4th year of boxing, I made a just a grown man decision as far as like, where do I see my career gaining success in these next couple of years? Okay. And then comedy, I went back to grab comedy again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And coming back, when I came back though, because before I even when I went to the Navy and I was doing like my little skits and stuff like that, I went out to the Navy, emotions changed and stuff like that. I wasn't in that funny realm. I was just like in a life shock of like, you know, I'm in Japan.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? I'm in Virginia Beach. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yes sir, no sir. So I'm not really laughing and being funny. You know what I'm saying? So then when I came home, I was still in that mentality of like war. Yeah. So I went and started boxing. Okay. 4 years. I became, I think when I stopped boxing, I was like 27 maybe. Okay. And at that time, I made a decision because I'm like, damn, 3 years from now, I'll be 30 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, am I going to see my big payday within boxing within that amount of time? And I don't even have an amateur record set up. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was in the Golden Gloves tournament. Okay. During COVID, had no opponent, got a trophy. My trophy right over there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I went to a one-night show, had a fight, no opponent, got a trophy. So I started putting this shit in my mind as far as like, what is my life telling me? You know what I'm saying? As far as where can I get my success? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So then boom, I found the world famous Scotties after I stopped boxing, literally like 2 weeks after. Oh shit, that's the song. And then started right there. Yeah. But I had to break the ice when it came to that touching that mic and getting on that stage and talking in front of the people. Yeah, because you know, I had the funny in me. I got the funny that's, you know, some of us is gifted with different talents. Right. So I had the natural gift of gab, but it's like, you know, thinking about what am I going to talk about? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as a comedian first starting off, as a young comic first starting off, we don't really talk about our lives so much of like the stuff that's going on. We kind of find stories to tell or like to relate to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I had to go break the ice. And once I broke the ice, you know, I started having fun with it. Okay. And then I had a night where I like, you know, paused and forgot because I was trying to remember what I was saying, what I wrote. My mom was in the crowd. Oh, my friend was in the crowd. My cousin was in the crowd. That's the night you did it? Yeah. Well, just on stage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody came out this night. And I went out there and I was getting grooving and then boom, like I'm trying to remember what was the first thing, and I'm looking at all these faces. I had to tell the DJ, yo, cut the music back on, DJ. Get me back going. You know what I'm saying? Then I got grooving. But yeah. The best but yeah, once you break the ice, I feel like when it comes to this stand-up comedy, now it's just up to you to give the people something funny. Right. You know what I'm saying? And express yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you never had a bomb night, like a rough night?
So mind you, luckily it was only.
Were you thinking too hard?
Thinking too hard. So mind you, it was only on these open mics. Luckily, cause that's what I would say. That's where it comes. Cause I remember one comic even told me, so yo, try to get at least 50 to 100 open mics a year, and that shit is still, you know, still on still. Like that shit will really sharpen you up.
And that shit is cool. And I'm gonna touch on that because that is also kind of tough.
It is.
Depending on what your lifestyle calls for. You know what I'm saying? If you got a job and you got to pay bills. Yep. What's the strategy to get around that?
So,
and before you go, I'm going to add to whatever you about to say. Okay. I think social media has been a blessing in that situation. But go ahead. Yeah. So, because sometimes you got to work all week and you can't make these open mics and stuff. But you get plugged in, you know what I'm saying? Like me, like sometimes I'm working all week, but thank God I've been seen by great comics like you, and shout out Sean Harvey, and shout out all the other great comedians that I've been working with that's been blessing me with great opportunities to show up to these mics. Yep. Because without a manager and an agent and you don't got time for the schedule, it's kind of tough to really like blow. But I feel like with social media, You got to just plug in all avenues.
Yep, keep promoting yourself. You're the brand, so you got to put your spots, put your content in these right areas. But the stand up thing will be, the open mics will be, something where it's like when I get to these bigger stages. Okay, so first, the one time I froze or just forgot my shit was on an open mic, but it was like, all right, cool. Like you said, I was just thinking, I was trying to make things way complicated. I just add a new joke, but I remember my shit. I want to add new shit in. You only get 5 to 10 minutes and shit. So I was just in my mode, and I was just like, damn. And I just got quiet, and they just looked at me, and then I was like, I'm done. And then that's what I'm saying. So another thing I tell people, when you know you're done, don't try to, sometimes you can work it out, but if you know it, know the crowd. You always want to leave on a big note. So I was like, it was like maybe 30-second quiet. That's way too long in comedy life. Just get out of there, man. Get out of there on the like, you know what? I'm gonna have a good night. I want the next comedy to come up. Big up the crowd. Big up the, make the show better. You always got to do that. It's always for the crowd.
Move your mic a little closer.
Oh yeah, I got you.
And I'm gonna add to what you just said as far as like you could pull it down a little bit. So
got
it's
you.
Yeah,
right here's good.
Yep.
All right, cool.
But
cool.
I feel like in that moment, to get out of a pause. Mm-hmm. Find something in the crowd.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Find something in the crowd.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk about, the outfit you got on. You know what I'm saying?
Save this time, that space, that day.
And then you might just catch what you was about to say.
That's true. That's why I said you can work it out.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like once you just say, all right, that's my time, dependent, you know what I mean? You rock out a little bit.
Okay.
Try to find it. But I feel like if you're nervous, that's when I was saying. Clean it up.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
That was my first. That's what I mean. Like, so I felt like I was done. Like I could not get it for nothing. Mind you, this was a long time ago. And when I figured it out, it was off the stage, and I was like, I would have. And then I didn't figure it out till like later on that night. Like, damn. So I didn't want to waste the time. And mind you, this is open mic.
Yeah.
So if you want to show, definitely try to figure it out. Don't ever try to leave yourself off of that's my time. You know what I'm saying? Just try to always leave off with the best note because anyone's watching. Everyone's watching.
That's
so,
right.
But with the comedy, with the open mic, so having it. In New York, it's like, it's always a mic. It's one at 3, it's one at 6, it's one at 8. So that made it a little easy. Even though I didn't do too much in New York, I knew I always had that time because sometimes you can start early and then by the end, I'm already got those practice and those reps and I'm already good because I already laughed at this and then you laughed at that, then I found something new and then by the end of the night, it's like I already did a whole week's worth in one day.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. But you know what? Like you said, having a certain type of job or a career that pulls you away and you can't grind that way, it makes it very difficult, man. It makes it because it's like even when you get these opportunities, it's like, all right, cool. I know a joke, but how funny is it? Because I don't have no time to practice. That's what I'm saying. I always would tell people, do those open mics because it's more than just jokes. It's the stage presence. It's the mic control. It's the just seeing people out there, seeing the feedback to it. Because that's the best thing about stand-up is the interaction between you and the audience. So you can't beat that. You can't, all the social media in the world is not going to prepare you for that. They know you got to get on mic for that. But the social media can be a tool to help you show and display your talent.
Your material and stuff.
Yes.
You ever had a heckler?
Yes, it was one rowdy crowd and was in San Antonio. We came from Corpus to San Antonio. It was about an hour or 2 hours for sure. And so it was one mic that you can you get on like it's 50 comics. So we was like, oh shit, we signed our names, but we would go to other spots and then come back there later. That's why I'm saying I like those moments where you can have more comedy and come back later.
Right.
So we went to this one spot. It was a sports bar. So a sports bar, they're not there for anything but fucking watching and drinking. So I lost them as soon as I got them. I said, yo, what's going on, man? RayTooFunny and coming from New York. And it was a black guy. Yeah, that's my man. Get that work. I was like, yo, you my guy. I got him as soon as I lost him. As soon as I said that, you my guy. And they said, yo, he is cool. He's all right. He's chilling. And then they started talking through the whole shit, man. And so that's one rowdy wise, but just like trying to talk to me as I'm doing my shit, that kind of rowdy was just more like a drunk old man just trying to. Yeah. It was funny. It was at the solstice. He was just like, his name is Jack the Ripper. It was
your first heckler.
Yeah.
Your first heckler.
Heckler. Yeah, for sure. Especially now and this time too. Like in doing it in PA in the comedy in the PA scene. He was just not like any comic. Any person I got was not. He wasn't. Yo, I know your mother. I'm like, you don't know my mother. What are you talking about? You from PA? My mom's in New York. Like, Are you crazy?
And he threw you off.
He threw everyone off.
You got in your head, right?
Yeah.
That shit happened to me.
Yeah.
I had my first heckler, and he started talking shit. And then I was like kind of talking shit back to him. Oh, shit. And then I tried to get back into my skit, and he kept talking. And the people that came to see me in the crowd, they was rowdy. So they started arguing with him and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, shout out ABFM. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas out there, man. They started getting crazy, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gonna talk. That's my brother on stage. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, I'm Todd Lawrence. That's my time. But
read the room.
What's your advice for hecklers?
Okay, so it's definitely, I'm gonna just say it was in a showcase wise, right? So let's say you had a show, you bring your peoples, even if you don't have peoples, just try to get through your material, man. Don't try to let that person hold you down. Just let, obviously they're gonna keep talking to them. I feel like the crowd knows they're gonna kind of rowdy with you, like, yo, come on, man, we paid for this. Like, yo, shut the fuck, shut up. Like, this ain't, we ain't come to see you.
Right.
Sometimes some people battle them out, like, yo, you think you're funny? Come on up here, give him my time. Let us see what he does. Oh, you're not gonna do it? All right, because 9 out of 10, they're not gonna get up on there and say nothing. But I just stay focused on your set, man. Try to get the jokes in when you can. And then people will know that you came prepared, you were ready. It was just that guy or that person that just was like not trying to hear it. So, and usually some people could get them out of there. So, what I'm saying? I tell that too. Like,
and my learning lesson from my moment with the heckler,
yes.
I want to tell people, when you get a heckler, fry that motherfucker. Fry him up. You know what I'm saying? Fry him up, but after you fry him up, bring them back out to the dinner table. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Serve them some good laughs after that.
Go. Okay, I like that.
You know what I mean?
One.
Because they're trying to be a part of, like, they're trying to enjoy their time now that I realize. But now you just stepped into the danger zone. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm about to fry you, and then we're going to have fun together after that.
Okay.
Because now you could get your shit off.
Right.
You get an extra laugh.
Yeah.
And now let me get back to what I was trying to tell y'all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely levels to it too, how far they would go. But usually if you get them real quick and you shut them up, and then you're right.
And if you fry them, they you know what I'm saying, they laugh and they like, okay, all right.
You got me.
He made me a part of the show. I'm on Netflix.
Man.
Shout
out Netflix.
Shout out Netflix, man. So let's get right into it, man.
Yes,
RayTooFunny, you got your merch going around now. You done started your merchandise.
Yes.
I like that hoodie.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
That bright red.
Red. Yeah.
Talk about it, man. What made you start getting into your brand and everything like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, when people usually start, it doesn't happen right away. But, you've been in the game for a little while now, it seems, that you're telling me, from New York to Texas and now PA.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got your RayTooFunny merchandise going around. So talk about it, man. Entrepreneurship, like we were saying earlier.
I'm telling you, that's what the school, man. ASC, man. It's always, selling the candy, like I was saying. So
I like
I'm
these.
telling you,
I need one.
You need one? Hold on. You know what? I got you. Hold on.
Oh, you lying. I know you lying.
Here we go. We gonna put them out like here. You know what I'm saying?
I know you lying.
Show that to the guys. Yeah.
Shit.
There you go.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm ripping this out the package.
Do the package,
What Lotto
man.
said, rip me out the package.
Acting brand new.
Yeah,
like
you know the song, nigga. Shout out Lotto, man. Shout out all the bad bitches out there around the world, man. This is incredible.
Yes, sir.
He said, I got you one.
Yeah.
Talk about it. And he got the official tag on there.
Sir. Yes,
if you don't got this tag, it's not official, man.
Tell him about that.
RayTooFunny got the official tag, and he put the T-Law, so they know, man.
It, man.
It's Todd Lawrence, not Martin
Lawrence.
It's Todd Lawrence. Yo, this is fire.
Nah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I was asking you the size, and I was asking you the color you wanted. You know what I'm saying? I still kept it on the low.
I wasn't expecting it this soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My nigga on time. You know what I'm saying? He come 15 minutes early.
That's that discipline. But
RayTooFunny, this shit fire.
Yeah, so it's on my. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Shout out RayTooFunny. Yeah. I tap in with my nigga.
Appreciate you, man. This your space.
Talk about it, man.
So yeah, like I was. So if you go on my page right now, it's RayTooFunny. It's in my bio. This is just like a soft release, real quick. Just trying to put a few things out. I know. What made me think about doing this was like, this traveling shit, this comedy life is, it's not always, the money's not always up front. So if you always promote yourself, you be yourself, you be your own brand, people can associate you with I know the guy with the RayTooFunny shirts, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I see him wearing it too. This must be funny. So I started thinking like that. And it's RayTooFunny. RayTooFunny merch right now. And the reason I'm doing that because I got more ideas and not just shirts. So I'm like, if I do the stickers, if I do the keychains and shit like that, like I want people to be able to, tap in and be, part of the experience with me. So like I said, it's in my link, it's in my bio, RayTooFunny merch / Big Cartel. I'm using that at the moment. Then I'm gonna get to what's that, Shopify? That's the bigger boys. That's when I'm up. But right now, I'm just trying to promote and be a brand, and it's like, we are brands, especially in the social media time. Like, anytime you see it, this is where we got to promote. We were talking about that. You got to promote yourself and make sure you're the number one. So
yep.
That's how I started that real quick.
Yeah, and shout out your wifey, your fiance on this too, because you know I just got to meet her at the last show we was on together. Yeah,
after all the skits.
Yeah, and I didn't even know you had proposed and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so talk about all that good stuff, because that's a team sport right there. You know what I'm saying? And what you got going. You know what I'm saying? It takes a team. You know, so
yeah.
Shout out wifey, man.
Yo, appreciate you, baby. I love you, Scarlett. It's gonna be Grigsby soon, but you know, so at the moment she has her own page too. It's Speak It Out Loud, Say It Out Loud. Hope I said that right. Love you. So she makes these shirts for me. She's my designer. She's my love. She's the one that helps me, supports me, and put the battery like, yo, you can do this. I'm gonna be there for you. We actually knew each other, like I was saying, middle school. We went to military together. Then
that is deep.
Yo, we brought it back. We did the Nelly and Ashanti shit. You know what I'm saying? We spent the block, and I was living in New York, Far Rockaway, Queens, and then she was out here in PA. So she actually left in middle school and came straight out here. So she's been out here for 10 plus years. So she knows more of the layout, more area, all the areas around here. So I was happy to move out in PA, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even know you. Put it like that. Yeah, that's how connected that
wifey,
is. Yeah,
man.
You know what I'm saying? I would have never.
And when you showed me that picture of y'all back in the day,
in the middle school, yeah,
that was deep, man.
That was us. Yo, we went to
no
prom together.
Pose, you know what I'm saying? That was deep because this is One Life Podcast, episode 39 with RayTooFunny, man. Listen, man, dreams coming to reality. We bringing dreams to reality.
Yep.
And seeing you and meeting you, you know what I'm saying? I always tell you, man, you bring me motivation when you hit me up and you tell me, yo, we on tomorrow? Yo, we on because you don't got a lot of people in this world when you chasing your dreams that are connected to their own dreams and coming together to make all of the dreams come true. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And you one of them dudes that shine the light, you know what I'm saying, and spread the light, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I appreciate you 100%. Shout out RayTooFunny, man. This is my guy right here. Yeah, and we only known each other for a little bit, but it feel like a decade.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? It's love.
Yeah, I already know you're going to say it.
Yeah. We got skits. We got some skits on Instagram.
Yes, sir. YouTube.
The old man, Robert Earl.
Yeah, we did rob or somebody when the money goes wrong.
When the money goes missing.
Yeah.
But it was my idea.
It was his idea, man.
You know what I'm saying? What else we got? Fucking, we got a lot coming, man.
Yeah, we got the shows coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Eating the snacks.
Yeah, eating that's them snacks, man.
Yeah, you really like that. We both like the snacks, man.
We do, especially when you get the munchies, man.
Yeah, and then now I got you involved. Well, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Shout out, thank God, and shout out Christopher English, the producer.
Christopher English, man.
You involved in the upcoming movie that's coming out now too. Yeah, Twisted Obsession.
Twisted Obsession, man.
Yeah, y'all stay tuned. Look out for it. It's coming.
Yep. Yeah, man. I know the shows. We always have one show a month. I'm not sure when it's come out. Definitely you're gonna lock in. We're gonna put it in the link. It's at the Solstice Bar and Grill, 117 West Market Street in Scranton. So definitely look out for that. So we have him as the host permanently. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it here now, unless we have a little guest host, but he'll still be on the show. So we looking out for each other. You put me on, I put you on. We work together. Like that's how we supposed to build this shit up, man. For sure.
Iron sharpen iron.
Yes. We going, and then we ain't too much, but the web is it's coming out. Don't listen.
Stay tuned into that YouTube shit, man.
Sir.
We about to send them numbers up.
Yep.
All the way up to outer space. Like Elon Musk and them.
Yeah.
I'll never go out of space. I'm good.
I think I'm good.
Would you?
Nah, man. I just think it's too much shit going on there.
I seen them girls, all them girls going out of space. I was surprised when I seen the sister. She was like,
yo.
I was like, oh.
How long this shit gonna be?
That's a brave sister right there. Shout out to that sister. I hope she made it back safe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the names, but
okay.
I seen the ship take off. Yeah, I'm like, Rocket, I'm
gonna stay out here. I'm good.
Down here where I could breathe.
Yeah.
I don't need no extra technology to breathe or make some money. And I don't even think money work up there.
That's what I'm saying. Different, moon rocks now.
To each his own. To each his own. To each his own.
That's for sure.
But yeah, man, this is the One Life Podcast, episode number 39 with my man RayTooFunny. One question I love to ask all my talented guests that come on the One Life Podcast, man. Like I said, this is episode 39. We got RayTooFunny in the building. What is some positive, great advice that you could give the audience and the world out there watching, people out there that are on their journey, chasing their dreams, trying to become successful in this one life that they're living?
Like you said, that's the main thing. We got one life here, man. Do what you love. Don't let this world put you down, even when it does. Just know there's people like us, people out here that loves you, cares about you, that want you to succeed, but you got to be the one. You got to believe in yourself. You got to make sure that that you're gonna get up every day and do the best you can at everything in life. So that's my it's not too long. I don't want to be preachy, but just keep going straight, man. Don't it's gonna get rough, but the world is tough out here. Just make sure you keep your head on a swivel, keep going straight, man. Keep
facts. Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
One Life Podcast, episode 39. Yeah. So what about the kids and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? You plan on having a family in the future and stuff?
Ray love the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do that. Yeah.
Because you done made it far without it. How old are you right now?
Yeah, I'm 34. You
34?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No, you're doing great, because guess what? I always tell people, man, you gonna need that diaper money. You gonna need that Similac.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna need all of that good shit to make your family secure. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't got that, I feel like your days are going to be long.
Yeah, and then the longer you wait, the more money it goes up too. So you know what I'm saying?
Put yourself in more debt.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when you're chasing a big goal.
Yes.
I feel like if you're not chasing like a big successful mission or a goal that you like, I want to become rich for my family, you know what I'm saying? I want to break the system for my family. I feel like if you just trying to live like and just go to work, go ahead and start and stay home. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the parties, don't go outside, go on vacations with your family and all that good stuff. Because I'm gonna still do that when I get my success. But it's like it's gonna be bigger. It's levels to this shit, like Meek Mill said.
Yeah. I think about kids. We're gonna try to. That's definitely the next plan to go. But it's just like setting ourselves up right, trying to make this, get a house, make sure you secure, generational wealth and stuff like that. And it definitely gets difficult when you're trying to chase a dream and have a dream that you want and then have kids. So we don't want that to be like something where like, oh shit, I can't go tonight because we, like you said, need diapers or something, like or people are tired, so babysitter and shit like that. So, but people doing it out here. So it's always people that I can look at to look for and like, all right, how you doing this? How this is working? Stay motivated. So know that'll work. So that's just my main thing. Just trying to stay focused. Me and my lady, my fiance, we gonna keep it going. She knows that my end goal. And we're gonna keep grinding this thing till the wheels fall off, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the plan.
One life,
man. One life to live, baby.
Yeah, amen. Anything you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Nah, man. We just, like I said, just keep going, keep grinding. This comedy thing is great. I'm having a great time. Me and my guy Lawrence, we gonna go up, man. Y'all gonna see us on everything on Todd Lawrence, not just Lawrence. You gotta make sure you say it right. It's a lot of Lawrence out here.
Big T, man.
Big Snake.
No Diddy. Go watch Gucci. The skits,
Yes, sir. So, but that's just keep it going, man. I appreciate you for having me on your platform,
vice
man.
versa,
Give me space, man. I love this, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, One Life Podcast, episode number 39 with my boy RayTooFunny.
Yes, sir.
Stay funny, man. Keep uplifting the souls, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about comedy. It's like, family. We go out there and we give our time and our energy to just bring laughter to the world. That's what I'm saying? Through different topics and situations. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's sense of humor is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like as comedians, we are artists, you know what I'm saying? And when we come up with funny things, it's a lot of times it's trying to take away the heavy burden on these things that people think about as harsh day to day, or they allow it to weigh heavy on their shoulders, like getting fired from a job. You know what I'm saying? I done got fired from 10 jobs. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, you get on stage, motherfuckers laugh at that, but it also gives people that sense of like, wow, okay, life is not over. Because a lot of people be like going through shit and they think, oh man, life is over. You know what I'm saying? I need to go pay for therapy. You know what I mean? Nigga, you got to get your money up to go pay for therapy. I'm going to just say that. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't free. You know what I mean? So get on your knees, pray to your higher power, God, and keep living this one life and doing things, whatever you doing, do it for the family. Do it for people that depend on you and look up to you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody in your life that looks up to you, depends on you, that you inspire, basically. And we only got one life to continue to give. So keep giving, keep living, and loving, man. You know what I'm saying? One life. This One Life Podcast, episode 39 with my man RayTooFunny. Love, man.
Yo, appreciate it, man. Yeah. We have a good night, for sure.
The One Life Podcast.
We out. Y'all stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. Keep chasing your dreams. Keep going up. You know what I'm saying? And don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time in a positive way. You know what I'm saying?
Way, yes.
What Aaron the plumber say? In a real way.
In a real way.
In a real way. Yeah, this is One Life Podcast, episode 39. We out.
Yo, my man. Love, peace.
Love.